We have more and more BTC maxis turning over to Kaspa, yet Kaspa is not going to hit a new all-time high this cycle. In my opinion, I believe that the 4-year cycle is over with, and we cannot think of things in that anymore. If anything, last cycle was the proof of that. We've seen Kaspa run while everything else was stagnant or down. In this video, I'm going to go over the charts and show you why I do not think Kaspa is going to run, and when I think it's going to run, and why I think it's going to run, guys. It's going to be a great video. We're going to get into everything, Kaspa and more. I love you all. This is never financial advice. I know people don't want to hear Kaspa's not going to hit a new all-time high this cycle, but let me explain a little bit. I believe that Kaspa is going to run on its own terms. Look, we're seeing Bitcoin peaking right now. We're seeing Kaspa bottom. I had to break in here real quick. Kaspa might be fine in its bottom, but so are the number of you that are actually subscribing after watching. Only 33%. Make sure you support me, Finance Freeman. Like the video, subscribe. I love you all. I think that Kaspa is going to run when Bitcoin is low. And why? Why do I think that? We're starting to see more and more Bitcoin maxis convert over to Kaspa, or at least acknowledge Kaspa, that it's a very great proof of work and is more scalable than Bitcoin is at its core. And so why? Why do I think that we could potentially run never financial advice in the bottoms? Because if we take a look at these charts right here, they look very similar, just completely opposite. If we were to flip this chart over, you could see what we're having right here. We're having a low, we're having a low. And when you come over here and look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has a high right here, and then it has another high right here. Let's zoom in. Where have we seen that before? If we zoom in over here, what is that? That's a high, and that's a slightly lower high. So I'm not calling for this to be the BTC top, but I do think it's closer to the top than it isn't, if that makes any sense. So what do I think will mark the absolute bottom for Kaspa, and why has it been on a downturn the last 6 months? That's what I want to get into. First, before we take a look at this, this is the life of Kaspa right here. You can see it ran from here to this tip top peak, and if we come over here and look at Bitcoin, that's what I'm looking at right here, is that same time frame. And you can see Kaspa was running during this time, yet Bitcoin only did about a 2x. When you take a look at Kaspa, Kaspa did a 14,000x, a very, very big difference. And so ever since this point right here, that BTC has continued to go up, adding another trillion in market cap, Kaspa has been going down. So we have to ask ourselves, what happened right here that marked the top? This was the launch of KRC20. This is the evolution of Kaspa, no longer just sending money to money. We are now having KRC20 tokens, meme coins, utility projects, you name it. The problem, no smart contracts. And I believe it wasn't just to sell the news event, but as people went over and started playing around with KRC21, it's very hard to be able to bring people into the ecosystem, KRC 721 or KRC20, if they're not already well versed in Kaspa, because there's no decentralized exchange. That's the biggest problem with this. So not only was it a sell the news event, it was also a realization, in my personal opinion, never financial advice, that hey, Kaspa's just not there yet. And so what I think is going to mark the bottom, and I don't know if the low's in, if we're going to get another low, if we're going to start stair-stepping like this, but what I believe is going to mark the bottom is smart contracts coming for Kaspa. Kaspa already has all the framework that it needs. 10 blocks per second. Got a lot of wallets, got a lot of exchanges. Don't have Coinbase, but we do have Kraken over in the United States. And another thing that I believe is going to propel this is Zealous Swap. This is the first decentralized exchange over on Kaspa. You can see their token right here, number 1. But that will allow people to actually be able to have a decentralized exchange like Uniswap. That has not been the case so far. So far, if the token's not on an exchange, you literally have to put it up for sale, and someone has to go to that sale and buy it like you're listing something on eBay, guys. That is why KRC20 has failed so far, but I believe it's going to turn around, guys. And if you want to hear what Zealous Swap is cooking up, guys, we have an AMA this Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Guys, come attend, giving away 1,000 ZIL tokens. We're going to hear about everything that they're cooking over on there. But why we are sitting here and Kaspa is making new lows, or at least near new lows, right? We had this low here, we had a high, and we're yet to make a higher high. We are getting a lot of attention. A lot of people are starting to realize that there is Jonathan Sampolitsky and that he has a lot of ties directly to Bitcoin, a lot of work on Bitcoin that went into getting these 10 blocks per second on Kaspa all came from BTC, and BTC maxis are starting to figure it out. You can see encouraging you to study Bitcoin and Kaspa long-term implications on society, and he starts talking here how he became a Bitcoin maxi, and he's posting more and more about Kaspa. And so this is just going to continue to go. And what I'm thinking could happen is as people start seeing a high in Bitcoin and they don't think it's going to go anymore, even if it does go up to 145, whenever the heavy profit taking is going to come, and we might revisit this level right here, I think there's going to be a lot of people, and like I said, never financial advice, I have to preface this, that I'm thinking people could potentially take profits out of BTC and put them into CAS, all creating the perfect storm for CAS to pump during the overall crypto bear market. Because if you just come over here and look at other altcoins, let's go back a year. Take a look at XRP. It's up 500%. That's a huge cap coin. If you take a look at Hyperliquid, you go back a year, it is up great just from the launch of it, guys. You know, it's up from $6 to $38. If we go pick another random one, let's take a look at Hedera. If we go back a year, it was at 5 cents, currently up a 3x, has been up as much as an 8 or 9x. Yet, in that same time frame, Kaspa is flat at best. And so we're getting a lot of attention over on Kaspa, but I truly believe the 4-year cycle is no longer going to be interpreted that way. We have institutional money coming into BTC, and whenever we take a look at how Kaspa's mining rewards come out and when it launched in the bear market for that big push, guys, I just believe the liquidity cycles are inverted. But I want to know, what do you think down below? Do you agree with that, or do you disagree? And if Kaspa does run very hard during the overall bear market, what do you think the price will be? Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Freeman of Finance family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.